Our next speaker is Judit Polgár, and Judit, for those of you who do not know her, is a Hungarian chess grandmaster, and Judit, with her two sisters, is renowned worldwide as being the leading chess players, female chess players. She achieved the title of Grand Master at the age of 15, and she was the youngest person ever to do so. She has two sisters, Sakk and Zsófi, and the three of them were educated at home by their parents, so it was a classic homeschooling situation, and chess was the specialist subject. Of course, they were also exposed to the various other subjects that most school children have to suffer. And in December 1991, Judit achieved the Grandmaster status by winning the Hungarian National Championship. When Judit's two children joined Happy Kids, we sat together and spoke about a Chess for Kids program, and Judit got together with her two sisters, Zsófi and Sakk, and created a methodology and a workbook called the Chess Playground, which is used today in some of the local schools and kindergartens. And more recently, she has partnered with the former world chess champion Garry Kasparov to lobby the European Union to introduce chess into the European Union schools. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Judit. Give her a big round of applause.
I'd like to welcome all of you, and I need my helpers. I'd like to talk a bit about my foundation, why we're using chess, how I became a chess player myself, just so you get a little picture of that. Well, I started to play chess myself when I was 5 years old, and for me it was a long road becoming a professional chess player. And as I started to have a family myself, and my kids started to become a kindergarten age, I wanted to move on with my knowledge, and I wanted them to learn the chess game itself. And later on, when we started together with Happy Kids, the chess teaching in 2010 already, then later on I wanted to broaden a little bit my ideas and my dreams that as many children as possible, I want to teach them the game of chess, which is my favorite game. And that's why I established my foundation, Judit Polgár Foundation, in 2012. It's a non-profit foundation, and we have three core priorities. We make chess in school programs, which later on I'm going to talk a bit about, the Chess Palace program. We have an international festival, which actually is the same age as my daughter. It's 7 times we're doing it already, and this year, 4th of October, we are expecting everybody who is here. It's a great festival with many thousands of people, kids, families, where we have chess as an educational tool. We have an international conference also, and a lot of games and playing possibilities for children. Also, we make social and entrepreneurship supporting, developing revolutionary education we make, because we are not teaching chess, but we are using chess as a tool. So when you think about chess in schools, in kindergartens, you have to understand that it's not that they start playing chess and then they become champions. Don't misunderstand this. No, we are using chess as a tool for kids to think in a broader way, in a more complex way. They see connections, things. We use cutting-edge technology, benefits research all over the world, as I'm traveling up to today a lot with my competitions. We made a lot of research and cooperate with different people. Also campaigns for introducing chess programs in kindergartens and in schools. So far we are in schools mainly officially with the Chess Palace program, but we are doing kindergarten at Happy Kids, and we are also making the Chess Palace program for preschoolers, and soon we are going to have pilot projects on that also. Well, English is very clear why we need English in our society. Globally, about 750 million people speak English. About half of them are native speakers. As far as my knowledge is it is of course very essential for several reasons and several parts in our life. Obviously in our profession, for me also as I'm traveling all the time, English is the language most of the time I'm communicating. A social network, obviously, it is obvious on the internet. Generally, that's the most common where we get the communication and socialize with people. Even though in chess, Russian is a very popular language, but English is something what 99% of the people speak it. In culture, that's how mostly we get the most knowledge in cultures, to get to know other cultures. And of course, in education, as most of the best universities are English native countries like England, Great Britain, or USA. But let's see why chess. And after all, English is pretty obvious. The game of chess is an ancient game, maybe the oldest, but definitely one of the oldest board game, and it's about 2,000-year-old. About 600 million people play the game, so it has a very good image, and many people in every country, you find people play chess on the street and clubs and schools and in education. But in my life, as I started to play chess when I was 5, for me it was obviously in the first few years only a game. Later on, it became an art, and here I'd like to quote Marcel Duchamp, but all artists are not chess players, all chess players are artists. And I like to use this as in my chess I do play artistically, and I enjoy the art of chess also very much. But later on, as I became a sport person, I was becoming a competitive player. Of course, science took part of it also, as I had to make a lot of research, a lot of studies, how to progress in my field. But by the time I got the family and kids, I very much got into education to complete their own in my life. So chess is attached in all different ways in my life. Obviously, it became much more active when my kids were born. My kids were 4 or 5 years old, Oliver, and then later on Hannah. And I started to teach them only in the beginning, but then I wanted to move on, and we moved on in general in education, how chess can be involved in education and improve kids' knowledge and the way to improve in general results. Chess in education, I got more involved in 2011 when I joined Kasparov in 2011 in Brussels, where he gave a lecture about why chess would be very important in general education. And then we needed to have the declaration that the European Union supports. We needed to have more than half of the signatures of the members. And then the next step was that all the European member states has to implement it the way they are able to do so. And I'm very happy that later in 2013 we made it possible, my foundation, and with a lot of energy and work, that it is part of the Hungarian curriculum as an optional subject to choose chess. Then educational tool is learning, and socially it can be very useful for kids. It can be very good social game. As all of us know and experience as a parent, I mean, technology, tablets, internet, computers, iPhones, they practically, as a magnet, you see it in the parent's hand. Of software, and the kids learn it from their parents, and they use it a lot. But it is very important, I believe, that we find things that we can do together and not sitting at one table and everybody is using their tablets, and that's how we are socializing. So chess is something you can socialize. It doesn't matter how old you are, for example. It is very important in families. All the information very fast and very nicely and with nice graphic. It was very important for us to make a very cost-effective booklet and program that in Hungary, many schools, they have many financial problems. So it can be very cheaply done, but very efficiently used for kids to make their way of thinking. It has 3 parts. It has a student book, which you see the first one, where we have a program of 4 pages. That's what they learn. It's a cross curriculum where we use mathematics and writing and reading. And it is also by experience. It showed that the kids who were playing chess, their reading improved quite dramatically. Many of the people, they say they don't know why, but it's their experience. Then we have a student, apart from the student book, we have a workbook where they can write and color, and we use the chess pieces in different ways. And we have the chess palace itself, which is very colorful. I was very much focused also on the graphic part, that the kids, I think, we have to build a world where they can get the information and they can learn in a much easier way when they can connect things one to another. And then, last but not least, we have a teacher's helping manual, because this program is taught by teachers and not chess players, which is very important because this is the way we can bring in chess generally as many schools as possible. And for the teacher, it's enough to know only the basic rules of chess, and with that they can play many games, also physical exercises we play. We have chess money, we have chess dice, we have all kind of tools, we have chess carpet. We have it also at Happy Kids, we are using the chess carpet. So a lot of tools which improve the kids' abilities for other skills also. We also have an accredited training program for teachers, which is 30 hours. And there, practically we show every bit of the program, how to use why we developed it this way, how to use it for the teacher, what is the best and the most efficient way. And so they have a much better picture, but it's not a must for teachers. If they read that book, they will see many similarities for themselves, which they do anyway, but in maybe a more related picture. We also have strategic partnership and close ties with different institutions in Europe, outside of Europe, in Latin America, in the US. I just came back actually from Tbilisi, Georgia, a week ago, where I had some talks with the Minister of Education and Sport, and they are planning also in 2015 to run a pilot project on our Chess Palace program. Well, what are the features of the Chess Palace program? More or less I was talking already about this, but we are really focusing on improving skills in general. It is very efficient tool for being quick, smart. Decision making is one of the most important parts in chess, as I'm practicing it all the time by making decisions, what direction to go in my preparation, and of course at the board. We always make decisions. In our life, we always make decisions. We shouldn't be afraid of making decisions. But for that, it's very important to practice it all the time. So if the kid is practicing, it becomes the most natural way that you have to make a decision. Because choice, our program was going on. They use chess, and now they have another two classes with that, and it shows that the kids are very happy with the chess-related activities. And, well, perhaps children, for accepting challenges in the digital society, it is very important to challenge them not only in digital way, but on paper and in person, touching things, experiencing things. And for me, it is very important how can we balance. Obviously, we cannot challenge the digital world, but we can help each other, the paper part and the digital part. It's a cross-curriculum program, the chess palace. We do use, as for example, the chess pieces, we don't only have 32 pieces. We don't only make on quantity, but on quality also. And with chess, it's very nicely possible to show it as a queen versus 9 points, a pawn versus 1 point. So if you have a queen of 9 and you have 5 little pawns, the queen is still stronger, even though she's only 1. And it's a unique teacher material. We are planning to have it from 1 to 4 grades. So far we developed out the first one. And well, I will have a copy here if anybody wants to take a look at it, how it looks in practice on paper. And we are finishing grade 2, and we're planning to have up to grade 4. The chess program is internationally interesting, and whenever I'm going on different places, obviously I do present it at the local ministries and educational schools, and I go different places. We also have the chess playground. It started on paper and a booklet, but we also upgraded or made the modernization, and we went on digital application. It's a skill building application. It has it's a cutting edge technology because we have very nice animation pieces. Maybe some of you know already, I don't know. It's for iPad and iPhones, but it's also available since a few months already for Windows 8.1, where kids can be challenged. It's an animation of every piece, how it moves in 2 minutes, and then they have extra tests how to practice all this in an entertaining and learning way. Well, our achievements we are progressing. The Chess Palace, we have this application in Chess Playground, the Chess Palace teaching material from grade 1 to 4. It is the most important step I made international and in Hungarian, also adapting by the Hungarian curriculum. It is a very, very difficult thing. Of course, now it is behind me, so I don't think about it. I look forward, and it makes it possible that more and more children get to know our program, and simply they get familiar with the chess pieces and the positiveness of chess. We have roughly about 1,000 children who are learning through this method. We have about 150 teachers who are accredited to the program, who had been doing it. More or less, we are in 50 schools, but I'm pretty sure that by September it's going to be increased. We have the Chess Palace, Chess Playground apps. We have the International Teaching Conference we had last year at our International Chess Festival, which I'm very proud of, because from a very little event, an afternoon event with only chess lovers, chess enthusiasts, we made it possible that we have really 4,000 or 5,000 people at the Palace of Art, on both floors, and really people who are not involved yet actively in chess. They see the positive and the nice things about chess, which I'm very happy, and that's what I'm really focusing. The International Teachers Conference we had last year for the first time. This year we're going to repeat it, where internationally they tell their experiences for Denmark, Sweden, and other countries. And it was patronaged of Mrs. Vasiliou, European Commissioner for Multi-Language and in Education, and she was supporting our festival twice already. And promote chess in education programs all over the world, and it's very important that kindergarten scholarship was done together with Happy Kids last year, and we were able to give one happy family, actually they're here, for 1 kid support, that they can take part in the chess activities also at the Happy Kids. And as a closing, I hope you're not dead yet from death of hunger. I'd like to show you a small video what we had last year in our festival, and just to finalize my